Greetings, fellow slingers. It's your trusted handler, Brian, welcoming you once again to the show. My thoughts. My thoughts on such an awesome game as Delta Green. One thing about Delta Green, it is an awesome system with a very captivating and large setting, spanning all kinds of subgenres. But the one thing about it, it's a slow burn. There's investigating, discovery, building rapport with the NPCs, sometimes not even knowing if one of them is who the agents are hunting. This game, I tell you, Delta Green can be like a puzzle of several pieces without a cover picture for reference. It's as though someone told you what the picture is, possibly the handler, and then the agents start finding the corners and edges. They find two pieces that go together, but unless they're an edge or a corner, they go somewhere in the middle of the meat pie. Again, it's a slow burn. But once the pile of pieces start thinning and a picture begins to form, that's when the scenario picks up speed. The final pieces being snapped into place, that's the payoff. And as we play Delta Green, or listen to those shows that do, yes, I do as well, it's important to remember that the Agent's Handbook is clear that Delta Green is not about rolling for initiative, not about the bug hunt, not about guns or winning. It's about fear, loss, mitigating, and trying to get your ass back home with the same number of people as were sent out at the start. It's about trying to survive on the outside while dying on the inside. It's about keeping it together while sitting at a table on Thanksgiving when asked by a family member to say grace, or not losing your shit while at the beach with your kids and watching the tide come in and go out again and again and again. I like to think it's about the things we evoke in our minds while traversing this setting and how we would navigate our lives based on that. So when we warm up our dice and top off our glass as we once more enter the fray that is Delta Green, think about how you, as an agent, would investigate such a scenario. And if you would, write into the show and let me know. I want to hear the insights of all you fellow slinging agents out there in the wild. Remember, if you're enjoying the show, please consider subscribing on our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20 and leave us a 5-star rating and review on whatever podcast app you listen to the show on. Now, let's warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents Delta Green Convergence, Episode 7. I would think that you would find that on the bottom of that cart. So I know that I've had that happen where the part will fall and bounce back into the cart. So
I'm going to look. That's one place I did not check.
No, like a tool cart. He said he dropped a bunch of bolts and he found 15 of the 16, and it was on a magnetic tray that was on the tool cart. I said, check the tool cart. That's where I would look. Anyways, that's just me. I don't know this well enough though. But
that's your first day.
It is my first gig at this whole thing. How's everyone doing?
Doing well.
It's good to see everybody together again. Not these two or these two, but all of us. So, I'm just kind of curious before we begin. What is everybody's game plan for this episode?
Oh, we're killing Todd. Definitely.
Oh, fuck.
Well, let me lead this in. Let me lead this in first, and then we'll go through this really quick, okay? Because I got some business I got to do too. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Yeah.
I like wine more than I used to.
The business. I got a couple shout outs to give from over on our YouTube channel. James McConnell and Commissioner Zaid Miller Bay the 7th Esquire. Let's raise our topped-off glasses as we welcome to the show our newest fellow slingers.
Hail slingers.
Hi.
Yeah.
You know, as I always say, initially I hadn't planned on uploading the show to YouTube, but it was Sammy. Oh shit, hang on. This beer's actually bowling over.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
In.
But anyways, it was Sam who had mentioned that he only listens to podcasts via YouTube. So, of course, I uploaded the show to the YouTube, and it's been great. I like having that there. So I never really gave Sam a shout out.
Go ahead,
Sammy.
Cheers.
Sammy.
You know, as the voice of the youth today, you're welcome. I speak for all of us.
For all you blue-haired youthians, welcome. And if you found us via YouTube, you out there in the ether, and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then go on, do it.
do it.
Get over there. Smash that little like button. You know you want to see what happens when you hit the subscribe button. Anyways. All right, so we're caught up.
It's our celebrity impression.
My little cameo. So what is everybody's game plan as we have these two units of agents right now?
Oh, we're definitely killing Todd.
Okay, you're gonna go with the killing of Todd. And
I'm just trying to meet up with everybody at that little diner. You know, Ichi's getting kind of hungry. I want one of them fat and tasties, and I'll probably order some food too.
Thick and juicy, baby.
Thick and juicy.
Well, I'm talking about the fat and tasty. I'm talking about the servers there. You know what I mean?
No, that's next door.
That's at the Shining Heart Daycare and Elder Care, owned by Merle, of course.
Of course.
What the hell is that?
My second head.
It scared me for a minute. I couldn't figure that out. Okay, so Agents Adesso and Kimura, you've evacuated the Spivey residence after Adesso was attacked by some form of purple globule that came out of the tub drain and then center punched him. Each, you've managed to pack him into the car, feeling as you did so his ribs sloshing a little inside of his chest cavity, most likely probably beat these things a little tenderized. You buckle him in, start feeling a little weird. You get behind the wheel and you start driving down the road. Adesso, having sustained that amount of damage that you received, now that the adrenaline has started to burn off, I need for you to make a con check.
Got it. A constitutional check for Agent Adesso is going to be under 55. This is going to be painful.
Better than half.
And that is a 90.
You are completely stunned at this point. With that fail, that means you cannot act until you do save. That means basically you can't even walk unassisted. You can't encounter anybody. You can't rationally think. Each, from behind the wheel, there's something about Adesso's condition, his helplessness that you find. How would you describe how you find his helplessness?
Well, as a friend, I'm troubled by it, but you know, there's something else stirring that makes me go, oh. Weak prey separate the herd from the weak from the herd.
It's a weak herd.
Yeah, I'm glad I buckled him in, because otherwise he could be in trouble.
I would like for you to make a sanity check each.
Righto. It keeps getting lower and lower every week. Under 47, got a 24.
24. You feel empathy for Adesso, but that's it. You really can't see yourself doing much else for him right now other than trying to stay focused on the driving. Just continue moving down the road. It's the best you can do, knowing that you got to reconvene with the other agents hooking up at Merle's country bunker. Tell me about the drive. How you feeling about that drive?
Well, these small towns, I'm not used to this sort of one road going, or one lane going one way, one the other, and people speeding around me to pass by. I'm making sure that I'm not going to jostle the car too much. I don't want to have any ribs that are floating, puncture any lungs or spleens or anything like that, and make the problem worse for either of us. So it's going to be a nice, mellow and slow drive. The main point is to get to the diner and meet up with the other agents. We can figure out what to do with Adesso once we get there. Are we going to take him in somewhere? That could jeopardize our mission. But if we don't take him in, is that going to jeopardize our buddy?
Well, you got 25 minutes of driving to get there at the pace you're going. And while you're behind the wheel, we journey back to the Allen residence. Agents Coldwell and Rice. Now, you've threatened to turn Todd Allen over to the U.S. Marshals due to having in his possession a handgun with a serial number filed off, as well as bluffing him that he has outstanding warrants. Basically, the whole thing is one long con. And with Rice on the phone, pretending to talk to the U.S. Marshals, Todd looked at you, Coldwell, and asked, If you're a U.S. Marshal, then why is your partner calling the U.S. Marshals? What's your play, Coldwell? Sorry, that's my voice. Sorry. What's your play, Coldwell? Got a little too into character with that one.
It's just standard procedure to check in with the corporate office.
Yeah, that's what all you field agents are trying to play this some kind of run a game on me. You think this is the first time I've been in cuffs before?
Oh, from your record? I don't doubt it. It ain't your first rodeo.
Know. Look, why don't we just take this as a warning? You could just let me go. You know, I promise I won't do whatever it is you think I did. If you want to take the gun, that's fine. I got another one.
I was going to say, finish your sentence.
There you go. Please, Todd, go ahead. Continue on.
I'm just saying that Jamie, she used it. It was for her own protection. You know, sometimes she gets off work from the country bunker late at night, and I don't like her walking across the parking lot by herself.
Well, we'll just wait till Agent Rice comes back off the phone with the marshals, and we'll see what happens.
He just lets out this exhaustive sigh and just slumps. Agent Rice.
So Rice is listening, to this interaction on the other side of the wall. I think I'm in the kitchen is where I'm at.
Well, I know that Coldwell and Todd are still in the master bedroom. I assume that you just went out of the room.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look for some sort of rag or sock or something, and I'm gonna wipe this weapon down. And
okay.
I'm gonna walk into the room holding the slide with this, with the sock or whatever. Say, Caldwell, flip him over on his belly.
What the hell you doing? I've been in jail before. I recognize this position.
We get awfully familiar. Then Caldwell flips him over.
Caldwell, hold him, straddle him, hold him down.
Whoa!
So while, a standard like neck or knee in the neck and knee in the small of his back, I'm going to take Todd's hand and wrap it around the handle of that pistol to get his prints all over it.
Okay.
And then I pull an evidence bag out of my my cargo pants, and I put the weapon into that bag with his prints.
That's some real chicken shit stuff. I should have known. You guys ain't no fucking feds. A real fed wouldn't have done that. They would just ask me to hold it for them. This is stupid. Let me out of here. I want to talk to Sheriff Oakley.
Oh, Oakley again. You guys are awfully buddies. But don't worry, we got our insurance policy.
Oh,
we'll know where to find you.
As soon as you let me out of here, he's the first person I'm going to call. You guys think you're so high and mighty. Wait till Dan has his way with you.
Oh, and who are they going to believe? Someone of your kind or two federal agents?
I don't like the way you was talking to me like that. I'll let it slide only because I'm belly down
And hogtied.
in hogtied.
So Caldwell, what do you want to do with this guy?
I said we got enough to just leave him be for now. Let's go meet up with our other guys, see what they've got.
All right, you want to leave him handcuffed, or you want to leave him in this state?
We could probably let him loose. I think we have more than enough to hold him against anything.
Fair enough. All
Yeah,
right.
cut me loose.
All right, I uncuff him.
Thank you.
Get him.
Thank you.
He crawls his way to the bed, just kind of pulls himself up onto the mattress and just sits there slumped, defeated, completely demoralized.
You're gonna be a good boy now, aren't you, Todd? Gonna be a good boy now?
Yeah, I'll be a good boy. I'll be sure to report this.
Good luck with that. Caldwell, let's get out of here. I've had enough of this guy.
All right, let's head into our bucket.
Going out to old Betsy.
Big old Betsy.
All right, so we'll make our way out to the vehicle. Hey, Caldwell, you want to drive? You want me to drive? What do you want to do? You want to flip a coin?
I'll drive.
All right,
You could do some research on our way.
will do.
So it's about 20 minutes from the Allen residence to the country bunker. Lead me through what you guys would like to do, if you want to do anything.
Rice is going to do some more research on his laptop and his encrypted connection with his cell phone, and just do a little bit of more recon on Merle's and Sheriff Oakley in town.
Well, we definitely got to do something with Oakley. Or there's something more to Oakley as well, but we got to see if we can find some dirt on him.
So I would say, Handler, I'm going to...
I'll tell you what, with the time that you have to get to the country bunker, you'll have enough time to look up one person. And we could leave it up to the die, or you could choose which one you want.
I want to do Merle.
Okay.
Not like do Merle, but
Whatever, bro.
let's... Hey, if that's
Hey,
what
no
you're into.
judgment, man.
Hey, you like
It's
a
a
little
safe
salt
place.
with your rice.
You see, surprisingly, his file that you have access to, even with your level of credentials, is pretty thin. You see that he was born into Groversville, Tennessee. His parents were Thomas and Greta Barn. At the year he was born, it puts him right around 64 years old. But you can see that there's a lapse in his record when he was about 25 years old, where for about 6 years, there's nothing on him. I mean, you get his high school education, you get some college degree, you get the fact that he was working with the family business, and then there's nothing for like 6 years. And then at about 28 years old, you see him taking custody of some of the businesses in town and starting to buy them out and build them up, changing their names and whatnot.
Is there any banking information or anything from this background that I ran?
No, in fact, it doesn't look like he does any banking in the town at all. So however his money is being deposited or where it's being deposited to, it looks most likely as though it's going through something before it gets to its final destination. Like the businesses that he owns, they all get put into accounts. You know, the daily deposits get deposited into accounts and whatnot. And then wherever that money seems to dissipate beyond those many accounts, not just one, you can't find out where it goes to.
It could be like shell accounts or, offshore maybe.
You don't have enough information coming across that way to find that out. I mean, it could be that somebody else has the accounts in a different name and they pull that money out and do something with the money before it gets into a final account along the way. Or maybe it even goes through a few more accounts. It's difficult for you to tell.
Okay. So a lot of movement of money through multiple accounts, difficult to track is basically what you're alluding to.
Yeah. And it doesn't show anything as far as a marriage certificate or dependents.
Okay. Caldwell, this I'm relaying some of this information to Caldwell and say, hey, Caldwell, this guy is his background's kind of interesting. When this guy hit 25 years old, he was kind of off the map.
I mean, off the map. Like, can't we chase the money?
No, the basically the background is that there's an absence of about 6 years where this guy is like off the grid as far as background goes. And then he just reappeared and took over the town and started changing names. So, somewhere along the line, he had to get money somehow to be able to do that. You just don't walk into the town and start buying stuff up.
Yeah. Where was his last known employment or last known location?
We don't know. Don't have that. His file's pretty thin. It's pretty thin. So I think there's more for us to do. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper here. How far are we out from town?
You're starting to hit the main streets at this point. You're getting out of that rural area, so you're probably about 7 minutes away from the country bunker.
Okay.
As we get closer to the bunker, I want to keep my eye out to see if I could spot, the other agent's vehicle.
Give me a luck roll with your D20.
Straight up, 18.
18. You do see the Chrysler that you guys originally drove into Groversville hitting the streets and making its way to what you would assume would be the country bunker. But surprisingly, you see that each is driving the car as opposed to Deso.
Okay. The plan is all to meet up, but if I see him, I'm going to try to go after them a little.
You guys are probably both going to the same destination, though.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just follow him in.
Each, you see the country bunker on the south side of the street. Make a luck roll.
Okay. 16?
16. You see old Betsy coming around the corner with Rice and Coldwell in it.
Okay. I assume that they're joining us to meet here, so I'm going to try to find a spot that has two places together and maybe a little bit farther away from the rest of the restaurant and the parking so we can have a little bit more privacy, and I'll park there.
And you see them pull in, so I'm imagining that you guys probably parallel park right next to each other.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
Agent Adesso, with the car stopping, your head kind of lulling, why don't you go ahead and make that con save again?
Got it. 39. So that will pass.
That's
Nice,
pass.
yeah, under 55.
You start breathing a little more steadily. Your eyes start to regain focus as you start looking around the parking lot. You see, surprisingly, each has been driving you the whole time.
All right, I'm feeling a little bit better. Thanks for driving each.
You got it.
Where
Do you
are
want to
we?
keep this? We're meeting up with our fellow agents at the country bunker right now. You took a hit. You got out to the car okay, but as soon as we were starting to get in, you kind of started showing signs of worse for wear. So I buckled you in and took the keys and drove us here. How do you want to spin this? Do you obviously tell them what happened, but you seem pretty out of sorts right now. Do you want to play that off as you're a little bit more okay than normal, or how do you want to do this?
I'll just let them know that, I took a hit. I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm going to take it easy until we get up to a place where I can take some real rest. But yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay, can you get out of the car on your own? Or you need help?
Yeah, I could use some help.
Okay, in a small town like this, two fellas helping each other out of the car might be a
Normal?
little bit not as normal. So if we want to, I would suggest is if you can do it yourself as much as possible that you do, so we don't draw undue attention to ourselves.
Right. Oh, yeah, I'll get out. No worries.
Ichi is trying not to get in too much contact as well.
I get on out of the car, albeit a bit slowly, without assistance, using the door frame as a aid standing. And then I walk slowly into the diner.
And you see, it looks like an old reconditioned Bob's Big Boy. You see that they've redressed this large statue to kind of resemble something that might work better for Groversville. These large open bay windows. You see couples and families eating all kinds of different food and whatnot. And you see Agent Coldwell and Rice pull up.
I'll move inside real quick and try to see if we can get maybe a booth or something that he can just kind of slide into and not have to worry about holding himself up. See if there's a place that's maybe in the back or something like that.
Okay. The hostess sees you and some late teens girl. She's, oh, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, what can I do for you? Can I take your name? Okay, yeah, we got a place in back for you. So she leads you through the restaurant to a booth at the very back of the restaurant. One of those round booths with a deep pleather seats that are real cushy and hard Formica tables and stuff. And you guys kind of slide in there. Agent
Exactly
Coldwell.
what I was looking for, brother. Look at that.
Yeah. Agents Coldwell and Rice.
Well, they're inside already, so Coldwell would like to exit the vehicle and regroup with them in there.
Okay.
Do we want to leave anything in the... Do we have anything in the car? Not in this one, right?
No.
I think you guys have all your stuff with you.
Yeah, we do.
So.
Yeah.
Rice had his laptop with him the whole time.
Yeah, I've got it just in like a shoulder bag. You know, it stays with me. Hey, can I do a as we're walking into this place, I think it's search. I just want to kind of do a search. What time of the day is this now? Or we're probably I think after 6 o'clock?
6, yeah.
It's 6 o'clock right now.
Okay. What time of the year? Is it dusk? Is it totally dark?
It's pretty dark at this point.
All right, I'm still going to do this. As we're walking in, I want to do a search just to kind of take stock of the cars that are in the driveway or, the pull up.
The parking lot's about 3/4 of the way filled at this point, and you could see through these large bay windows that a lot of the tables are occupied with couples or large families and stuff. You did see Agents Each and Adesso walk into the restaurant, walk through the restaurant, being led by the hostess, and then seat themselves at a table in the very back.
Okay. Can I tell from this search that I want to run if any of the cars look like out of place from what would normally be in this area?
Sure.
So I'll run a search that is a 55 over 50.
No, you really can't tell if any of them seem out of place. You do see a police cruiser in the parking lot, though.
Okay. All right. So we'll head on in and make our way to where Each and Adesso are.
Okay, and as you start moving through the restaurant, you see Jamie Allen waiting on tables, and she looks over and she sees you two agents, and she's kind of like, "Oh, hey, how you boys doing? I'll be right over at your table. I'll take your order in just a minute." And she says something to one of the other waitresses, letting her know that she'll take that station. You guys make your way back to the table, and you see Each and Adesso.
Hey, Each, Adesso, how you boys doing?
We got to talk a little bit, so why don't you come sit down, and if a waitress comes by, maybe we have her come back in a few minutes because we haven't decided, but we got some things to go over.
All right.
Seems like you guys found some good stuff.
What do you say about that, Adesso?
I don't know about good.
Looking rough, Adesso.
Yeah, I got some stuff to show you.
Is there a baby around here that shit itself?
No, it's just the baby back ribs.
Out of game for a moment, is there a way, if I want to show the guys the pictures, I'd like to preface it for them. So possibly they get some kind of bonus to their sanity check because they know it's coming. I know you can never get used to it, but is there a way to, I don't know, assist, boost, enhance the sanity save by prefacing what it is you're going to see?
Tell me how you're going to preface it first, though.
Well, I would describe it.
What are you going to
simply say, yeah, I went into the bathroom and I heard some gurgling noises, and then I saw something come out of the bathtub drain. It went through the drain as if it wasn't there. It was a semi-state solid liquid, and it then coagulated when it got out of the drain. And then it got bigger and hit me in the chest hard. I mean, this is a tremendous blow. But it was purple. It is a semi-liquid. It didn't have any eyes or anything like that, but it's rather disconcerting to see. And then I would show them the phone. Would that work?
I'll give them a 10% addition to their sanity check. Not the child that's looking over the booth at that saying, "Mommy, I want to go home."
Right. We'll make sure that doesn't happen. But so before that happens, I'll let them know.
Yeah, as you describe this picture, go ahead and give yourself a 10% bonus to your sanity checks as he shows you this flip phone of the pictures that he took.
Okay.
Coldwell?
80, I just hit it.
So you'll take...
Oh, 8. It's 8, but I still pass, sorry.
Okay. I'll tell you what, for the pass, we won't take any damage. Rice.
80 under 85.
So you don't take any damage either. Obviously, him prepping you for what you're about to see really paid off. Too bad he didn't do that for each. But
didn't know it could be done. Sorry there, Deech.
We
No
both rolled
problem.
80?
Yeah.
Did we both roll it? Oh,
Well, I
dude,
rolled. I thought I read it wrong. It's 8, but I thought I rolled 80.
Dude, we need to go buy lotto tickets.
I know. I did. I need to see if I won.
Your guys'
Roll a luck
sanity
roll.
check is at 80.
Hold on.
No. What we
Yeah,
rolled,
3.
what we rolled was 80. We both rolled 80 on our sand rolls.
and that's
That's what
under
I'm
what
saying.
you have, though?
Well,
With the
hold on.
10%,
What did
Yeah.
you roll, Coldwell?
8.
So
But
he
you rolled an
passes.
80 or an 8.
8.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was 80. Forget everything I said. I rolled an 80, but it's still under my
Is it-
85.
8
Your
or
sanity's
800?
85. Wow. That's amazing.
How does that work? Like what's sanity based on? Because at my max it's
Isn't it-
49. Is it wisdom or something or whatever the equivalent is?
It's willpower times
Your current-
5.
Yep.
Your willpower times 5 is the equivalent of your sanity.
Okay. Wow.
I'm sorry,
That's
your
good.
power times 5 is your sanity.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Way to go, Rice. Way to metagame.
You'll have to have them go over each page and see what we can do.
Yeah, well, hold on. You said it's willpower over times 5? Because I was going off the current sanity points.
Yeah, it's sanity. That's how you derive sanity.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, okay.
your total sanity check.
Oh,
There
okay.
should be a
So that,
box that says that.
yeah, that's just what I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a 10% buffer, yeah.
Yes. Got it?
Got it.
You both look at this flip phone and you see these pictures of this thing that defies logic, especially the way that Agent Adesso described it, moving through these multiple holes in the drain and then recoalescing and then attack him and then reform and then go back through the drain again. But at least now you seem to have a frame of reference of possibly what you guys are looking for or part of it.
And after it was done attacking me, I closed the bathroom door, but when we went back in, it was gone. We think it went back into the sewer, went into the drain, into the drainage of the house, and likely into the sewer.
But so you said it was like a gel form, didn't have any eyes. How did it know where you were at?
I don't know. I wasn't speaking. I didn't yell. I picked up my flip phone and I started taking pictures, but I have it on silent. So other than me pressing on the buttons, I don't know how it sensed me. Maybe thermal. If it wasn't tracking on sound, or maybe it was tracking on sound, it may have been thermal. That's the only other thing I could think of.
After your attack, were you able to get out of the room, or it didn't want to follow you or anything?
It hit me. It drove me back into the bathroom door. I hit the bathroom door, opened it up to block further view from the creature. And then when it lost sight of me, or when I was able to lose sight of it, or break the line of sight, I'm not really sure, it stopped. I then closed the door. Each came up with, what's his name? Somebody who may have to
Joe
join the
Krista.
list of the cleaned. But we went back in, and it's gone.
Back into the drainage pipe.
Well, it wasn't in the bathroom. The most logical place it could have gone was the drainage pipe. It's because it didn't leave the bathroom area. It didn't leave the bathtub area.
You're looking pretty rough there, Deso. You doing okay?
I'm getting there. Took the wind out of me, but I'm feeling better.
Can we rely on you through the rest of this mission?
Absolutely. I'll be moving at reduced speed, but yeah, I'm good.
As you guys are having your rapport, you see Jamie come up to the table, and she lays down 4 menus, and she's like, "Howdy, boys, agents.
I close the phone.
How you two doing? Is Todd back at home? Where is he? Everything okay with Todd? Was he able to answer all your questions?"
Oh, yes. Todd was more than cooperative. He's probably back on his lounge chair watching the game.
Well, I know sometimes he could be a bit abrasive. I hope he was at least somewhat cordial to the two of you. He has a great respect for the badge. So,
I'm sure he has a great respect for the badge. I mean, since he considers himself such a close friend of Mr. Oakley's.
oh, those two, they go back years. They were in high school together, and I think they were even in junior high together. Thick as thieves, I tell you. Anyways, we have the meatloaf is the special this evening. Can I bring you any drinks this evening, guys?
And just water's fine for me.
I'd like some sweet tea, ma'am.
Oh, okay. What about
I'll
you?
have a black coffee, and why don't you send me over 3 of those plates of meatloaf?
Okay, we're famous for our thick and juicies around here, too. Don't forget that.
You can send over 2 of those as well.
So you want 3 meatloafs and 2 steaks.
Yes, ma'am. I'm super hungry.
And how would you like those steaks prepared?
Can you make them rare?
We can deliver them rare. I don't really think that's considered being made. But,
And make it so.
the FDA doesn't really like us not cooking these things.
Well, you can just give it a kiss of the flame, just a little taste of flame. Whatever will keep your establishment in the good graces of the FDA.
Well, okay then. What about you, Mr. Lawman? Are you okay, honey? You look like you're in all sorts of pain. You're pale as hell.
I'm just going to have a glass of water and I'll be all right.
He had to suffer with my driving over here on these country roads. He's not used to that.
These
The
are
city
worst
folk.
roads. Well, I suppose if you get hungry, you could have some of your friend's food. He's got plenty enough. You other boys want anything else, agents?
I'd like some of that meatloaf. That sounds mighty good right about
Very
now.
good.
And make it 2 plates.
You want 2 plates yourself or just another
No,
plate?
make it another one. A plate for myself.
Got it. She disappears, and as she makes her way back to the kitchen and whatnot, come up, trusty die. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coldwell, your phone begins to vibrate in your pocket.
I thought you were rolling to see who gets food poisoning.
God,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too.
It's
Take
totally
a
what I
con
was
check.
thinking. All right,
Pick up the
I'll
phone.
pick up the phone.
No, it's Coldwell's phone.
Coldwell.
It's Caldwell.
All right, I'll pick up the phone. Agent Coldwell?
Yeah. Coldwell, this is a special agent in charge, Derringer. I
What's
wanna
up, Big
check
D?
Yeah. What the?
Big Derringer, right?
Yes.
What's up, Big D?
Professional, please. How's it going so far, Agent?
Well, we're putting our resources together right now. Unfortunately, we don't have that much news to report back to you. I'll keep you in the loop. We're doing it quite brief right now.
Well, I'm not without information. I do want to tell you that the lab gurus may have found something that might prove helpful in detecting that which you're hunting right now. I don't want to say too much over the phone, but I'm going to be sending an agent to deliver something to you, and he'll be there in the morning. Where will you guys be staying the evening?
We're staying at the Merle Shut-Eye.
Okay, I'll pass it on to the courier.
All right, thank you. How would we recognize this guy, or will he recognize us?
He'll give you a call when he's a few minutes out. I don't want to give away what he's driving yet, or what he looks like. Just to have your phone on, please.
Copy. We'll keep you posted.
Derringer out.
Big D. All right, buddies.
Big
Big D just gave us a call. Derringer just called. Said he'd be sending an agent down. Apparently they found some results that might help our case. He didn't want to release this information over an unsecured line, so he'll be sending an agent in the morning.
Courier.
It's interesting that he didn't want to share that information with us over the phone.
Whatever it is, it must be super confidential that they don't want anyone to, the wrong hands to get the information.
Strike you kind of odd that they're not sending this courier agent now, and they're waiting till the morning to make contact with us?
Now? About 1,700, 1,800 hours?
It's 1,800.
All right, so it's, would be about 12 hours worth of time is what they're taking, depending upon where he's coming from. Well,
Tell you what I'll do. After here, why don't you guys hang back and I'll drive over to the shut-eye. See if me driving over there brings out anyone trying to maybe intercept us, and you guys follow behind, and if they indeed intercept me, you'll be there to bring in the cavalry.
Sounds like a good idea, Agent Each.
is there another place in this town for us to sleep if we needed to? I don't think so. We got Merle shut eye, and that's just about it.
What was the country bunker handler?
That's where
we're
you're
at.
sitting in right now.
Oh, we're in the... Okay, I thought it was the diner. Sorry.
That is it. Yeah. Oh,
A-
I see.
Well,
A few moments later, you see Jamie brings by this large platter of all these plates. She's like, well, I'm sorry. It didn't take as long as it would take because those steaks really did need prepared. And she starts tossing these plates out in front of everybody, refills everybody's drink, and then leaves again.
Somebody's about
Before
to
she
get the
leaves, I
meat
ask her, do you guys have
sweats.
any aspirin? Could you get me 4 aspirin?
I'm sorry, honey. You know we can't be going around giving that kind of stuff out.
Here they're running short too these days.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I'm sorry, I was making a joke
No
with my
worries.
friends.
You know, if you don't mind a little Advil, I think I might have some back there in my purse. If that might help.
Those would be much appreciated. Thank you.
She disappears. A few moments later, she gives him, here you go. You have cramps too, dear?
Sure. Something's cramping.
It's his time of month.
Yeah.
Ain't it
Thank
all
you.
for
This is
all
much
of us?
appreciated.
And
I'm rooting for your cause.
Yeah. Each has removed the meatloaf and the steaks from the plates and just put them on one, and hands back the rest of the senior special of sawmill gravy and instant potatoes and peas and carrots.
That does sound good.
You want me to leave the plates for you, Agent Vegetarian?
I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna have the Advil, thank you.
She takes the plates and leaves, leaving the four of you once again alone.
There's just something else. Each and I came together and we were talking about it. We have a feeling that what we just saw on the phone is a piece of a larger whole. We don't think that's the problem in the entirety. It's just a representative portion of it.
I believe this might have been something that, now this is just a hypothesis that I have. When Spivey came home, something might have passed, throwing up or another way, and that's still at the house somewhere, but it's some sort of entity that's within him. It was much like what I thought when we were trying to get him to expurgate, is that the right word? To relieve himself of what was in his system at the holding. I'm looking around, making sure no kids looking over where he's being held.
What did you guys end up doing after you were attacked at Spivey's house? Is anyone at the residence?
Well, yes, the mom's still there, of course, and then she also brought in her brother-in-law, who's former law enforcement, and her sister-in-law, who's married to the law enforcement guy. Anyway, she wasn't very helpful. She truly didn't have a lot of information. Their son had been missing for a while. There was obviously the incident, and after the incident, the son took off, but we know what happened after that. What happened before was he was gone for 2 days. She reports consistent with everything else we know. Kid went to his girlfriend, left his girlfriend's house, disappeared. Kid doesn't know it, but he was gone for 2 days, according to the mom. He comes back again. What's going on? What do you mean I've been gone? I was just over at girlfriend's house, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a big argument, which leads us to the rest of the story. But all the information she gave us is consistent with what we already have.
We did find out that Jane recently went to her what is it? OBG. I forgot. I don't know these things.
OBGYN.
The OB-GYN.
OBGYN. That she went to her OBGYN. YN.
Just say it's her lady parts
I want to
doctor.
be professional. We found out that Jane ended up going to see her OBGYN, and that she shares the same doctor as, who was it?
Her mom.
No, it was someone else. Oh, it was her mom, huh?
Yeah.
With her mom, and they had a fear that she might be pregnant. It was 2 days after visiting the doctor, she disappeared. Apparently, she ran away. No one has seen her from this point. Both the parents think Sheriff Oakley has to do something with it. Also, the only other place that they could think that she could have ran off to was the reservoir, considering that was the only place that they all would hang out.
And Handler, if we had not done this already, I had mentioned that we wanted to contact Derringer and have the people that he said that were going to be tailing us or following us to sit out in front of the house and make sure that no one is, entering it. In character. After Adesso and I left, we wanted to make sure that no one approached the residence, and so we are contacting Derringer to have some of his agents watch the place. We had Mr. Krista and his wife and them leave the place. He's taking them to a hotel, I believe the one that we might even be staying at, or maybe in their town, but we wanted them out of the residence so we didn't have any other sort of incidents like we did with Adesso in the bathroom.
It's so funny, Agent.
Glad to see you. That Advil's making you feel better. Go in there. That Midol's really kicking in, huh?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave you the wrong pill.
Oh, now we're both on birth control.
So after you guys' conversation begins to simmer down, have you gone through that entire plate of meat and everything?
Pacing myself, but these, this country bumpkin, country bunker, the portions aren't that large. Merle is definitely trying to swindle the good townsfolk out of a hearty meal. So that's why, to the group, that's why I ordered so large. We haven't eaten all day. I'm a man of, fitness is my important. That's why I'm, heavy on the carnivore diet these days.
And how is that carnivore diet, Each?
It's very well. Now after the 2 weeks of explosive diarrhea, my body has adjusted, and now I'm able to eat just the meat and not any of these highly oxalated vegetables.
And you see the plate is just dabbed in all this meat juice, this raw red meat juice. After a few moments, Jamie comes by, lays the check down. Whenever you're ready, just go ahead and pay the hostess up front, Diaz. And she leaves.
So to the group. So now we must figure out what we want to do, Adesso. Do we need to take you somewhere? Do you want to sleep the night? I know we're getting pressured by Mr.
Fine. I think
I know
that's
we're getting pressured by old Sheriff Oakley that we got to be out of town by morning. Not that that means anything. But we also are under duress to try to finish this little situation we have in the town. But it seems that we are really not much farther, and we have a lot more places to go visit. Next episode. Yeah. Sorry.
Not yet.
Yeah, we can cut that out too.
So he was going to walk you to the car, punk. Oh, you saved. Never mind. You're good.
So you guys pay the bill, and you guys said you wanted to take 2 cars to go to the country bunker. Is that? Or I'm sorry,
The sleep.
Merle shut
to the shut eye, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will take the lead and have the rest of the groups hang out in Old Bessie, and I'll drive there a few minutes ahead and kind of get out and see if anything happens. Anyone waiting for us? Do I see any cars in the lots? I can roll for that. Just sort of make myself known there and see if we'll pull up and see if anyone comes looking.
Make an alertness check.
Okay. 53, so 09.
No, you don't see any cars following you. As you pull into the parking lot of this smallish motel, you see that there are 6 windows on either side of a set of double glass doors. Most likely another 6 on the backside, but you don't see any doors on the exterior of this motel. Most likely these doors are inboard, meaning that you'd have to go into the lobby
Okay.
and then access them that way. As you do pull in, though, you do notice that the Krista's station wagon is in the parking lot, as well as a few other cars. But from what you could tell, you've not been followed by anybody.
Okay. I will do the customary dude park, so I back into the spot so I can escape from whatever's going to be after us. And I'll give Adesso a call and say there's plenty of room for parking here. No concerns about getting any dings.
Excellent.
A few moments later, the other agents park and convene with you. Standing in the parking lot, you see the double doors leading into the main lobby.
Okay. Do you guys want to to a room so we're not left on our own if something should happen? Something bubbling up out of the drain? Adesso, did you want to...
Jason
Hey,
rooms?
you never know, man.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go inside, and before the rest of the group gets there, and ask for 2 rooms, each with 2 beds, if they have, find out what the room situation is.
Yeah, and as you walk in, you see the lobby desk. You see a large woman in her mid-40s, face heavy with makeup and hair up in a beehive, and her name tag says Sarah Harbor, guest specialist. And she sees the 4 of you and she says, "Hello, gentlemen. How may I help you?"
We're looking to get some rooms for the evening.
We
Preferably, 2 of us can each share a room if they're separate beds, of course.
Yeah, we've got a few rooms. In fact, it's been kind of dull around here. And as she's interacting with you, you see a thin, balding white man with a slight stoop enter the lobby, like through one of the mid hallways, carrying a plastic bucket, the kind you'd find in a hotel room. And he falls in behind you guys and just waits in line. And she begins to say, well, the rate for this evening is $59 a night. You guys don't have any cats, dogs, any pets like that?
You guys take AAA?
No, I'm sorry, we don't. It's company policy. We don't give those kinds of discounts. I'm sorry.
I'll look behind real quick and say, we're just getting some rooms, sir. Did you need to step in real quick for anything? Do you mind?
No, I'm just I'm waiting to see if I could get some ice for my room. The ice machine's broken.
Okay.
You have any other questions or what? Sorry.
No, it was for, I was speaking to her, saying, ma'am, do you want to take this?
It's okay. He's fine. Well, I'll deal with Mr. Karen Cola in a few minutes. He's been up here a couple times in the past couple of days. Okay, well, let me go ahead and give you your 2 rooms. give you rooms 110 and room 111. They're on the back side. Is that okay?
Sounds fantastic.
Okay.
That's not anywhere near the ice machine, is it?
No one near the ice machine.
What were the room numbers again?
110,
110
111.
and 111.
Side by side. Okay.
Are they connecting rooms?
I don't do
looks
those
at-
kinds
what
of
was his
things
name?
here, man.
Edesso looks at what was his name, Karen Kohler. Says, "Sir, have we met before? You look awfully familiar to me."
Well, I'm glad you recognize me. I happen to be with Phenomenex, very reputable newspaper out here on business.
Phenomenex. I have heard of that. Did you work with Romeo? What was Romeo's last name?
Ramirez.
Romeo Ramirez. Did you know Romeo Ramirez?
Yeah, he's never worked for my paper, but I'll tell you what, I would never be caught dead having that hack write for me.
Oh, gotcha. Did you hear of his passing?
Yes, I did. Were you friends with Mr. Ramirez?
Oh, I had the occasion to work with him. I was dismayed to hear of his passing.
Well, let me
wanted to-
just say that his work ethics were a bit lacking, showing up inebriated consistently, missing deadlines, coming up with some of the larger embellishments. I just didn't think he panned out well for my kind of investigative team.
Got it. And what are you guys investigating out here? What has brought your attention to this little, well, some would say, backwater city?
Have you not heard of Groversville and the strange lights and activity in the skies around here?
I'm going to have to say I do not. I have not heard that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm staying in room 109 with my assistant. And if you'd like to hear more, then please knock on my door next session.
Now, would that be the front door, sir, or another door? Maybe the side?
Possibly the back door. Hold that thought for a second. I gotta kick this fucking cat out the door.
Meow.
Why don't you go take a piss while you're at it, too?
Yeah.
Get out. Get out.
Kick it in here. Kicks it.
He's always got a menagerie going on. It's from a guy who had no pets growing up, and now he's got like 12 of them.
We're back.
You got a hairball?
Is that a hairball or a care ball?
A hairball.
Oh,
A hairball.
no, I recently shaved.
Yeah. Didn't realize you were so flexible
Well,
or big.
oh, that you know that ain't
A
true.
little of both.
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, leave us that 5-star rating and review. We also have a YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20, so if you're into watching, head on over and hit that subscribe bell. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.